Hi everyone, Leanne here from Jaded Blossom, and it is time for our March 2022 hop, and I have a fun treat box to share. Hey everybody, so I'm using Jaded Blossom's brand new Cottontail Farms stamp set. That's the freebie with purchase while supplies last and all the rules, yada yada. The handled gift box die, our bow dies, and the stitch label dies. Oops, that was upside down. I'm going to pull in a few things later on in the video too. That's the label die that I use. So I went ahead and I cut out that handled gift box with paper tray ink white cardstock. I used my Gemini machine, and now I am stamping the bunny from that stamp set all over the background of this white paper tray ink paper. I'm using Altenews Mountain Mist ink and just an acrylic block. Now I am stamping on a Stampin' Up pad, you see, and I also have a foam pad underneath just for a little bit more give. I find if I'm doing freehand stamping, it's a little bit more forgiving. And this is a solid image. So although, you know, Jaded Blossom's stamps usually stamp wonderfully. You just have to rough them up a little bit and then you're in business. And I thought this turned out really cute. So I'm going for a monochromatic look, and hopefully you'll think I pulled it off in the end. So this is just going to be a fun treat box. So I am loving this new release from Jaded Blossom. I think it's an adorable Easter release. You can't go wrong with really any of these products. I will be having a release and review video too. So if you haven't seen that yet, make sure you check that out either on my YouTube site, Lee Kubinik, or on Jaded Blossom's YouTube site, because it'll be up on both. And I will go through everything on the release. And then at the end of the video, I will put together all the gnomes for you to show you how they go together. So there we go. So there are my two pieces stamped. So now I'm pulling out a piece of Aqua Mist cardstock from Paper Tray Ink. And I just have a piece of it there, and I'm going to stamp the little tag stamp set that comes in that freebie with purchase. You know, there's a few rules as long as quantities last and all that jazz. So I'm going to stamp that in Juicy ink from Ink on 3 onto Aqua Mist cardstock from Paper Tray Ink. I used a powder tool you saw, and using my Misty, because of course I'll have to stamp this multiple times. You kind of want a really crisp image when you're doing a sentiment, and if that's going to be your focal point. You can get away with a lot if it's not a focal point, but if it's a focal point, you want your stamping nice and crisp. So there we go. So I'm trying to get a really, really nice coating of ink on this cardstock, and at the same time, you know, I don't want to squish the stamp to make the writing not legible, so you don't want to push too hard. You're better off just doing multiple stampings. So there we are. And then I will pull out a coffee filter and my Ranger Fine Detail White Embossing Powder. That's kind of what I use. And I'm going to sprinkle that over the image and the sentiment and all that jazz on there. And then I'm going to melt that embossing powder with my Marvy heat tool. Okay, sorry guys, I'm back. I had to run and answer the phone. With the phone ringing, I can't concentrate. So anyway, I'm just melting my embossing powder with my Marvy heat tool there. This is my favorite part of card making, like I always say, although I'm making a treat today, but you know, it's always fun. I love seeing that embossing powder melt. It's like magic. So this is my label shape that I chose. I'm just going to try and line that up to make sure that the stamped, I guess that's, what is that? I guess it's a whole image, whatever. It's like a tag stamp. I just want it to be straight in there. And I'm using, it's highlighter tape, it's called. It's Easy C highlighter tape to, you know, tape it down in place. Works really well. And then I'm going to pull out gingham linen petite prints from Doodlebug in this aqua color. And I'm going to use the largest bow die and tape those down in place too so they don't move around. And then I will run them through my Gemini machine. I'm just going to trim off my extra with my Tim Holtz shears. And then now I'm using the opposite side of the gingham linen, so the linen side, and I'm going to cut out these two border dies from Jaded Blossom. So that was just the normal border dies. And I'm just going to tape those in place and run them through also. There we go. Cut off the extra, run it all through. So now I'm going to cut off this upper tab because I'm going to leave this as an open box. So it's not going to be a sealed box. It'll be like almost like a gift bag. So cutting those 2 little tabs off. And then I will quickly fold on all the score lines. This is super easy to do. And like, you can crank out, a treat box so fast. Just lickety split. There we go. And now I will use my score tape, and I'm just going to run that along the tabs. So you got to put some tape there, some tape on that tab, and then some tape on the bottom tab also once I get this other one on. There we go. And then I'm going to put some tape on the inside once I use my Teflon bone folder to make sure they're stuck down well. Some tape on the inside of this flap, one close to the edge and one in just a little bit. There we go. And then we will quickly assemble this box. So I'll just peel off these little pieces of release tape off this score tape. So easy stuff. I'll line it up. There we go. Perfect. And then we will peel off the other 2 little tabs. And you just kind of want to line up that stitching. That stitching, normally you could fold it so it's like a sealed box in the center. But like I said, I'm leaving mine straight up to make it like a little treat bag per se. And there we go. So now I'm going to peel off that the one on the bottom flap, and I will just fold it in, just making sure everything is nice and straight. And there we go. And there's my little treat bag box. So easy, easy stuff. So now I'm going to quickly put together my bow. I just use a wood skewer to pop them out. I find it's not as sharp as like some metal tools, and a lot of times metal tools will actually puncture the paper. Whereas like one of these skewers, the wood skewers for cooking, works great. So there we go. So I just basically curled that paper up with my Teflon bone folder. I'm using a hot glue gun to apply some glue to the center of the bow, and then I will bring each side in, each little tail in. There we go. So this is like easy peasy stuff, putting together this box. There we go. So cute. And the nice thing about this little treat box is you could put treats in here, you can put a little gift in here, whatever you like. It'd be super cute. So now I'm pulling out a button from Stampin' Up, and I'm going to use Waxy Flax from Close to My Heart. Waxy Flax is basically just a waxed string. And the nice thing about it is you could put it through a button and tie a bow, and it's not going to slip because the wax grips itself. It's just, I love it. It's fabulous. And I have this problem where if I put a button on something, I can't leave the holes empty. I don't know why, but it drives me crazy. So these are the little things, like I say, always, that keep me up at night. And I know it's crazy, but there it is. I don't know. I don't know I can't do anything about it. What am I, 52? I'm not going to change at this point. I need some string in that button. It drives me crazy. Okay. So now I'm just trying to make sure that I get a half decent looking bow. The nice thing is that the Waxy Flax, that wax string is kind of malleable, and it kind of stays in the position that you put it in. So it's kind of, I quite like it. Now, I don't know if Close to My Heart makes it anymore, but I'm sure there's other waxed string out there. So there we go. I'm just trying to get that little bow straight. I will trim the tails off. And you'll notice that I keep all my aqua colored buttons in the same jar. I kind of sort my buttons by color. I just find it handier that way. So, but it's always a guess as to what the company is, but but I do actually remember that button was from Stampin' Up originally. There we go. So now I am grabbing my 2 little border dies. One's the scalloped and one is the little mini straight one. And I'm going to cover up those stitching lines that were meant to be folded on if you're going to enclose your little treat. And I'm going to pull out my score tape for the, what's it called? For the scalloped one. And that is the linen side that we'll be showing this time instead of the gingham. And I'm just going to peel that off. And I'm going to apply that to this little treat box. And just trying to make sure it's nice and straight. There we go. And then I will trim off the overhang with my scissors. I think I got this pretty straight. I was lucky. A lot of times it's hard to get things straight nowadays. I don't know. I'm challenged when it comes to getting things straight, let me tell you. And then I've got this, the little skinny one, and that one I will apply with my Stampin' Up! Craft Tacky Glue. Or not Stampin' Up! Simon Says Stamp Craft Tacky Glue. Sorry, guys. I've got Stampin' Up! On the brain. And of course it's clogged. There, I had to poke it with a pin to get it going again. Okay, there we go. I'll just run a bead along that stitching line. And then I'm going to add that little stitched border to cover that up. I'm not too concerned about the back. I'm just kind of decorating the front. There we go. And then I will trim off the overhang with my little scissors. These are my EK Success little scissors. There we go. Pretty so far, right? And now I'm going to pop up this little tag with my 3M foam tape. And I'm just going to apply that to the back of this tag, and then we will pop that up. So like I said, I am loving this release. I don't know. I love making Easter projects. I especially love the gnomes. Oh my God, I love the gnomes. They're just so adorable. They're just the sweetest little things. So now I am adding on that tag. And then I've got to just get that bow put together the rest of the way here. I'm going to add on the little tails with some hot glue. So I'll just put a little tiny dab, a little dab will do ya. Stick that in the center. And then I will apply some to the back to stick it to the handle. The nice thing about hot glue is it bonds immediately. It works pretty well with paper, you know, especially when you're doing treats like bows and stuff like that, you know, works like a charm. There we go. How pretty is that? I think it turned out super cute. And you've got that kind of tone on tone all over feel. That's what I was going for. And you could pop treats in there if you'd like. So I am pulling out the, what's it called? The Easter Gnome Tags. I stamped that and colored that with Copic markers. They'll be listed on my blog. And then I used the new Happy Easter Gnomie and Easter Gnome Tag outline dies that Jaded Blossom came out with to cut them out. And they are all in stock. Super cute stuff. So I've got them kind of peeking out. I'm going to add my little filler paper in there. And then you can put treats, a gift, whatever you like in there to give it to someone special. And how cute is that? So thank you so much for stopping by. Be sure to hop on over to the Jaded Blossom store and maybe get your hands on some of these products. Over to the Jaded Blossom blog to be inspired on how to use all those wonderful products. And thank you, as always, for watching my videos. I really appreciate it. And hopefully we will see you soon in my next one. Bye, everyone.